Part 4 out of 5 of my album reviews, of which I heard from my flight from London to Toronto, and this is my review of Jennifer Larmore, A Portrait, in which she sings arias from Monteverdi, Mozart, and Handel, and she's accompanied by her fellow singers Dominique Wiese, Barbara Schlick, Derek Lee Reagan, Linton Atkinson, Christian Oelze, and Scott Ware, and many other singers who specialized in the Baroque works. And the conductor was Renee Jacobs. Now, like I said in my review of Janáček's Janúfa from the Deutsche Oper Berlin, Jennifer Larmore is one of my most favorite mezzo-sopranos of all time. She started out her career as a coloratura mezzo, who also specialized in the lyric mezzo repertoire. She was a very well-known Rosina, Angelina, Arsace, and basically she was a bel canto specialist who specialized in not only the prima donna coloratura mezzo roles, but also specialized in the trousers roles, much like her predecessor Marilyn Horne and her other predecessors being Teresa Berganza, Lucia Valentini Terrani, and Marina de Gabarain, Giulietta Simonato, and at some point Fiorenza Cosotto. She basically specialized in these roles, and then as her career evolved, she started to sing a lot more dramatic mezzo roles, like Lady Macbeth, Eboli, Kostelniczka, and Queen Gertrude from Thomas's Hamlet. And with this album, I definitely enjoyed listening to her voice as usual, but I felt that there was something missing. Since this is called Jennifer Larmore, A Portrait, you'd usually expect to hear her sing in a lot more roles and a lot more repertoire, like not just Monteverdi, Handel, and Mozart, but couldn't we also have the likes of her usual bel canto repertoire, like something from Bellini, Rossini, Donizetti, Mercadante, and many other composers, and even that of, let's say, Verdi or even some from von Weber. Heck, she could have even had one of Eglantine's arias from Oriente in this album. That would have been great. But alas, we get to hear that, well, not really Eglantine's aria, but Adriano's aria from Wagner's Rienzi in her other album, in which she sings these arias in English. So, what did I think about this album regardless? I still think it's a really great listen, and I think that the singers that accompanied her, the likes of Dominique Wiese, Barbara Schlick, Christian Oelze, Scott Ware, Linton Atkinson have accompanied her very well, and they all blended their voices extremely well, and it's all thanks to Renee Jacobs' superb conducting, especially when it comes to the Baroque period, which he specializes in. And I thought her voice was just well suited to almost everything. It's just a gorgeous, luscious instrument that is just so full, rich, and at the same time very agile and very much flexible in all the registers and very homogeneous, which is why not only is she very well known in the bel canto roles, but also that in the French roles, some German roles, but mostly in that of the Italian roles, in which I really have a soft spot for Larmore in. And this demonstrates her artistry very well, but I would have wanted to have a lot more selections from other composers, the likes of Bellini, Donizetti, Rossini, Verdi, Strauss, or even that of or even some more Mozart, and then Cimarosa. I could have had a lot more composers, a lot more variety on this album, since this is called Jennifer Larmore, A Portrait. I would have loved to hear her in a lot more arias and selections in this album. So overall, it's definitely a great album that really shows just how wonderful of a mezzo-soprano and an artist Larmore is. But if I didn't stress this enough, I would have wanted a lot more. So even if I would have still wanted a lot more in this album, I'm still gonna give it a well-deserved 4 out of 5 because it's still a must listen. I would have wanted a lot more variety in this album, but despite that, it's still a testament to how Jennifer Larmore is one of my most favorite mezzos and probably to a lot of fans and critics' favorite mezzos of all time. And it's very enjoyable to listen to. And it's also helped by the fact that they had a great conductor like Renee Jacobs and also great soloists as well. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune into the final album review in which I review Angela Gheorghiu Sings Puccini. So until then, stay tuned for that, everybody.